Good morning, golfers. Welcome to the Ladies' Tee, your show for all ladies golf. We are broadcasting live from the Bethpage Golf Shop, watching all these players checking in and warming up and stopping by to catch a glimpse of what's happening. Oh my gosh, the amount of female players here is awesome today. I'm your host, Megan Youngman, LPGA professional and director of instruction at Bethpage Black in Farmingdale, New York. Alongside me today is Kelly Brook, LPGA professional and director of golf here at Bethpage Black Golf Courses, and our special guest, Lori Ann Chirullo. I'm getting better with that last name. She's the president of the Women's Metropolitan Golf Association. We are here to inspire you, to keep you in the loop of what's happening, to give you an opportunity to share with us and help your overall game. We want to thank our title sponsor, Spinecare Technologies, who's put all of our shows on the radio. Call-in number today, we are accepting phone calls, 631-955-5400. We will be taking calls a little later in the show. Today we're honing in on all those trouble shots. We find ourselves in crazy situations out on the golf course. We're either too close to a tree, we're on harder ground, we're in high rough, bunkers. We'll be getting into all that today. We will have those segments on how do I hit that shot and 3 best practices a little later in the show. So, good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Megan.
Yeah, let's start today with some awesome things about women's golf. Did you know? So, here's 3 things we're going to talk about. The Women's College Golf NCAA Division I Championships just wrapped up their day 1. They're at Greyhawk Golf Course in Scottsdale. We do. We had our kids there for the national championships for PGA Junior League Golf. Texas is in the lead, and Oregon is in a close second. It's so fun. You know, I don't think we're following the NCAA enough, especially now that these girls are playing so awesome. As for the LPGA, they're playing the Kingsmill Championship this weekend. Stacey Lewis and Jessica Korda, they're both in contention. The last round is on the 23rd, which is tomorrow. And then we get to have the U.S. Women's Open next week.
Yep.
That is June 3rd through 6th. So we'll be talking more about that next weekend. Scorts. Let's jump around.
Oh, great.
Scorts.
That's a real jump.
It's a huge jump.
I don't get the segue, but I love scorts. I love scorts.
So scorts are a combination between a skirt and a short. Okay, so underneath, the shorts are typically nylon under the skirt, and if it's a good skort, both the skirt and the shorts underneath will have pockets, and we love pockets. Do you have any brands that you...
Well, I like Adidas. I've also like the Fairway and Green ones. They're all different varieties. And the thing about them is now they're made, before they had a lot of waistbands, but now they've got the pull-on kind of like the yoga pants, so it's perfect. And some of them are so dressy, you can throw another top on afterwards, take off your golf shirt, put on a nice top, and then you can go to the 19th hole and, you know, look great and fashionable. And the colors and the styles and the fabrics, you know, they wick very well, so you don't get sweaty. And I like the shorts. They give you a little compression factor, you know, a little Spanx factor there from that perspective. But I literally, from May to October, you'll see me in scorts. That's my go-to dress.
Well, Jay Lindenberg, too.
Yep.
Kelly.
Yep.
You wear their scorts all the time.
Absolutely, and they come in different lengths, which I like. So if one day you're feeling a little more conservative, you could wear a little longer one down a little bit above your knee, and then they have short ones too. So something for everybody.
They're kind of the new fad right now, right?
They are. Also, golf dresses are coming in, but again, you got to have pockets.
Yep.
And I know the Fairway and Green ones have pockets inside, like a tennis ball kind of pocket. So you got pockets in the shorts and pockets
That's great.
in the dress, and back pockets too, which is very important.
Well, speaking of pockets.
Well, can I say one thing?
Yeah, please.
Speaking of sponsors.
Oh, right.
Fairway and Green is our newest sponsor today.
Oh, very nice.
excellent.
That's fantastic.
I could say I knew that, but I didn't.
Well, I love their clothes. In fact, I have a Fairway and Green golf shirt on today. So when it comes to what's going on in the WMGA, tell us a little bit about it.
So we're starting our season off. We've done a bunch of our tournaments that are more like invitationals, and our mainline tournaments are coming up. And what we're trying to do now is, getting everybody ready for golf. There's Women's Golf Day coming up June 1st, so we're trying to get all the women to go play. The WMGA Foundation is doing a virtual golf outing to promote the Women's Golf Day. So it's really getting everybody out, getting the cobwebs off the folks who stayed up north in the winter to start, warming up with April and May, and now the beautiful weather coming out finally. So we're busy finishing our invitationals, and in fact, I'll just do a little plug. So the Women's Metropolitan Golf Association, which is New York based, we have a tradition, and I think we're in the 118th year of competing against our sister organization in Massachusetts and in Philadelphia, and that's coming up this Sunday. So elite
great.
players, it's great. I get to go down there and go New York. So hopefully we'll bring back the trophy. But wonderful teams that we're playing with. So the Griscom Cup has got a huge, long tradition. And so I'm looking forward to that one. So again, just getting tournaments, getting the season up and going, and ramping up. And Women's Golf Day is just a perfect opportunity for everybody to get out on the course.
It really is. Let's talk about some swag. In these tournaments. What have you seen lately?
We like to give, and I think this is partial, what women like is the whole theme event, like when you're putting on a party. So when we have these events, we have gift bags when you come, and we have like tea and ball markers. We give them looks like a little golf ball, but it's actually a lip balm. And so we give little gifts like that, and then, you have prizes at the end, and we try to do prizes that they're golf, but they're fashion. We found these really cute little purses that they're crossovers, and they could hold your phone and wallet and keys, just enough for a night out, or take it out of your golf bag, put it on with your skirt and top, and you're ready for the 19th hole.
Very nice.
So we try to do things like that and make it fun. And then it depends. Is it a fun little tournament like, we call it like nose, where it's only holes that count that start with an N, an O, or an S, and an E. And you do fun things like that. I love the 4 clubs and a putter. Mm-hmm. And that, when you talk about the shots, it really helps you learn how to use your clubs in different ways that you never would have thought of.
Yep.
Right.
So that's fun when you learn something new and like, I could use a 6-iron to do this. Okay, good. From that perspective. And then there's the outings. Love the outings with the big themes. I love the pun on words like, putting on the Ritz and 50 Shades of Green. And you could do wonderful things with them. And you talk about the swag. The swag goes with it.
Right.
We did Diamonds in the Rough, and we got these literally the size of your fist, big diamonds, all different colors. And we put them out in the field in the course. And if you found one, then you got a prize.
Very nice.
So you could do a lot of neat
That's
things with
really
that.
fun.
Yeah.
What, on that topic, when we're talking about newer players that are going out with just their foursome, some of the formats that we would encourage you to play, are things like alternate shot. There's all different kinds of way to play golf where you're not just alone in your own ball.
Right. And a lot of times we find that the newer folks to it, they do want to have things that it's not all on them. That it's a partner event, and that it could be best ball type of stuff, so everyone can hit their own ball, or you do a scramble. So they do like that. Pinehurst is a good one, but I have to write on the card which order is which on those. But there are a lot of fun ones to do. And again, the tournament can be, could be who does the last one putt. So they could be very easy. A lot of women go to the course and they're sometimes very apprehensive about the competition. But everybody, we're not all LPGA pros out there. So we're just all relaxed, and the real key is to have fun.
Right. Kelly's run a bunch of different programs with ladies golf where you got them out on the golf course and you had them play different formats. Tell us about some of those.
I mean, my favorite obviously is wine and dine.
Yeah.
Or 9 and wine, rather. 9 and wine.
Right.
But, the key is you have to make, for women, I think it's got to be social.
Yeah.
So you have to do social things. Women want to be with other women. It's, they don't want to play in an individual sport.
No, they don't. And I think also, like, the new one from the 9 and Wine that I heard is, like, a lot of places have practice areas now, or short game areas. So it's like, it's swing and sip. And so, you could do that where you could get 4 to 8 of your friends and even work with the pro, and maybe they'll give you 30 minutes of instruction, then you practice for 20 minutes, and then you go hit the cocktails.
Yeah, great.
So, great ideas. I saw one pro did six at 6:30. So you do 6 holes and then 6:30 at 6:30, and then you have followed up with dinner and drinks. So I think a lot of people are trying to make it, inclusive for people who are working as well as people who don't have as much time as they would want. So you're killing, as most women are multitaskers, extraordinaire. If I could do multiple things, that would be great.
That would be great. We'll be right back with that same topic. We're going to go out for a small commercial break and a word from our sponsors.
Spinecare Technologies is an amazingly innovative medical device company. Their flagship product, the XtendTrack Elite, is world-renowned among pain management centers, sports medicine experts, physical therapists, and chiropractors. Spinecare Technologies is dedicated to improving sports performance by relieving acute, chronic back pain and its disabling effects. The XtendTrack Elite is FDA cleared, non-surgical, drug-free, and has been praised by health professionals around the world for its excellent clinical results in treating low back pain. Learn more at spinecaretechnologies.com.
The all-new Hyperflex from FootJoy is tuned for golf, with every detail designed and developed with the golfer in mind. Starting at the top, it looks awesome. The fresh material on the upper provides a great fit that forms to your foot and is fully waterproof. Next, the all-new Rapid Fit system ensures a dialed-in, precision fit, wrapping your foot in complete security. It offers incredible comfort with the new Stratofoam midsole, coupled with the OptiFlex outsole so that the shoe and the foot move in unison, whether walking or swinging. Available now in laced and the new Rapid Fit system. Shop now at footjoy.com.
Hey, have you guys seen the new Taylormade driver? Introducing the Taylormade Sim 2. Built differently around a forged aluminum ring that shifts weight in new ways. They made it so long and forgiving, golfers can't wait for their next chance to tee off. Sim 2 gives every golfer the confidence to swing away every time they step up to the tee. Only from Taylormade.
And we're back. We're back, and we're talking about all the fun things, games you can play when you do host your own ladies golf event, even if you're putting together a foursome for the day, no matter what level player you are. And yes, getting together with your squad makes an event. Absolutely. And, Lorianne, and Kelly, you've had tremendous experience with putting on these events. And like you said earlier, Kelly, about it always being social. Mm-hmm. So that leads us to the topic of, is it all golf?
Well, it is, I think. I mean, it's definitely the center of the event. But I also think that, with women, there's so many things that we're trying to do in one day that when you can combine golf with your social time, with a nice meal and then a cocktail hour, and, you're kind of clicking off a bunch of the things in their to-do list. And it doesn't, it could be 9 holes of golf, it could be 18 holes, it could be just doing a clinic on the putting surface where you're just practicing and you can make little games. And it could be, pick a hole and you have 3 people, you get 2 balls to get it in, and the person who gets it in gets their, a drink. Everyone else buys them a drink. So it's real easy to make it social, and it makes it fun, and it takes the pressure off, and everybody just, at the end, they're a little apprehensive to start, but by the end, they're all like, wait a minute, I want to do that ball again. Give me that ball back, from that regard. So I think it is a very social aspect of it. I mean, Kelly, you've seen, lots of women go from never holding a club to just being, golfaholics.
Absolutely. And, we have groups of 4 or 5, they're just showing up to practice now,
right,
that we've never even seen before.
Right.
But even the most competitive groups, we have a group in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, at Diker, and they're all, low handicaps, but they love to hang afterwards and have a couple drinks. So everyone's competitive. Everyone is social, no matter what level you're on.
Yeah.
Well, I think, too, what we're seeing is just kind of, like you mentioned, just coming out to practice. how about grab a couple girlfriends and come to the range, bring some wine.
Yep.
You know, I told my my level 101 gals the other day that we were going to be putting next week, and I said, so you guys can bring a glass of wine with you, you know, a cup. And what did they do? They showed up with their little Yeti wine
Yep.
glasses,
Absolutely.
and they were so excited to be putting and having some wine, and it just loosened it up and kept it more social. If you're not a big drinker, that's okay too. There's a lot of fun games that you can play on the range with a playing partner, and I think that's what another thing that we do here at Bethpage. When you're involved in our instruction programs, is we're giving you things to do.
Right.
You know, even if it's not with your girlfriends, you know, if you do bring your significant other out to practice, you know, what can you do to keep it fun, competitive, small games, like on the putting green, Kelly?
Yep.
What would you tell, you know, a couple what kind of games that they could play on the putting green for chipping and putting?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many games you could play. You could play as simple as horse. Remember the old-fashioned basketball game where you choose your putt, and if you make it, the other person has to make it. If they don't, they get an H. You know, those little games like that are very fun. Or even if they're real beginners, closest to the hole, you know, and keep track. I mean, they're on our website, the Golf Institute, we have a whole section on games.
Oh, great.
So, you know, we have long swing games, short swing games, chipping, putting, sand games. So check that out. I think that section is actually free. So it's thegolfinstitute.com.
That's great. I love that section there because you certainly can get better, you know, at your short game, and also when you're different levels. Like majority of, even if you are practicing just with your significant other, we're at different levels. So it's a way to kind of even the playing field
Right.
a little bit.
And also if you're with your family, like with a long weekend, and obviously school's all different these days with what's going on, but you know, you can do these type of things with your child because they can putt, you know,
Yeah.
and it's hard when you always go out and it's like longest drive. And in my non-WMGA events, we don't do longest drive because it intimidates women. So we do closest to the line. And that person could only be 120 yards out, but they're 2 inches from the line.
Where do you put that line? How does that look? What does that look like?
So that line would be starting from basically, you know, just outside of the tee box. It's literally going up the middle of the fairway. And so when you hit, it doesn't matter whether you're the longest hitter or the shortest hitter. It's just who's going to get it closest to the line. And for women, that makes it a lot easier because, you know, the longest drive is you're going to be just your elite players. And so that's a lot fairer. So we usually do closest to the pin on like a par 3, so who gets the closest, and then closest to the line on a long one versus the longest drive, because I think it's more women friendly and all the women have a chance to win it. And yeah, we had a woman who literally, she was 86 years old and she golfed 3 days a week. She was not a long driver, but I called her Steady Eddie Sadie because she's 120 yards out and she could chip and putt like nobody's business. So she did it, and she was, you know, just constantly 3 days a week. She was really, really very consistent.
That's really neat. You know, another, to your point about the games, another thing that you can do with your own foursome is cut string. So you give everybody a different length of string, and they can move their ball that length only. You know, no matter where they are. You can move it out of the bunker if your string's long enough. You know, that's also a fun thing that we can do. So, topics of some of these awesome tournaments. So, I've heard about different themes such as like a day for divas,
Yep.
a red carpet affair, Hello Hollywood.
I love
Hawaiian
all those.
themes.
I like the one you talked about, better with bubbles.
Better
all
with
things
bubbles.
Champagne,
Yep.
right? Ooh, I like that one. But I had one. You know, you have the Broadway themes and stuff like that. I like the ones that have the little pun with putting on the Ritz. So you have a putting contest beforehand, and then we had 50 Shades of Green. I did Diamonds in the Rough. And the other thing, one of the things we did also, because sometimes if you have really big fields, people do wait at the tee box. So we had questions that were related to that. So with like the Diamond one, it had a question on the 7th hole that might have said, what's the biggest diamond? And you had to go on the back of your scorecard and mark it. And then when the women came in, you know, one of them was like, what was Neil Diamond's first song that he made a hit with? And when the women came in, they were like putting their scorecards down, but they're like, what was the answer to number 6? What was the answer to number 5? I was like, okay,
Right.
wait a second, we're doing the scoring. Like, no, we want to know what the answer is. So it was a lot of fun, and it engaged on different levels from that perspective. And like you said before, with the goodie bags, with the women love the tablescapes. There's really that whole party element to it, and women are just really good social planners.
Absolutely.
So this is just, think of golf as another social planning party.
Yep, yep.
And you could do a lot with it from that perspective.
Absolutely.
I love that. We should do that. We should do stuff like that on when all the kids are waiting to tee off during practice.
That sounds great.
Play games.
Yep.
Maybe rules games or something, etiquette games.
Yep. Things like that for points and, for prizes.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we'll start ordering some prizes and get ready for that. So we're going to head out to our last commercial break, and when we come back, Kelly and I are going to play a great game called How Do I Hit That Shot?
Oh, boy. I'm not prepared for this. It's early. Okay. Let me go do some jumping jacks.
If you suffer from low back pain, joint stiffness, or sciatica due to herniated disc or acute facet joint problems, you need to know about a spine therapy device called ExtendTrack Elite. ExtendTrack Elite incorporates multi-axis spinal positioning, traction, and joint and soft tissue mobilization. Your doctor or therapist can use ExtendTrack Elite to move your body into pain-relieving, therapeutic positions that keep your body relaxed as your spine is mobilized. Learn more about ExtendTrack Elite at SpineCareTechnologies.com.
Ever hit that one perfect iron shot and think, well, that's the one shot that will keep me coming back? Well, why does it have to be one shot? Why can't it be 5, 10, or even 50 shots that keep you coming back? That was Taylormade's inspiration when they designed the all-new Taylormade Sim 2 irons. Their unique catback design is engineered for more forgiveness, more distance, more often. Feel what it's like to play with better irons with the all-new Sim 2s from Taylormade.
FootJoy sets the standard for golf shoe performance and style in 2021 with the all-new Premier Series, inspired by golf shoes of the past, but supercharged for today's game. Designed in collaboration with the world's best players like Justin Thomas, Adam Scott, and Max Homa, the Premier Series features classic styling with premium waterproof leathers and great details that exude craftsmanship. That is complemented by state-of-the-art comfort and performance features like the Versatrax Plus outsole. Learn more about the Premier Series at footjoy.com. Hey golfers! Most of you have heard about the championship golf course at Bethpage Black, but it surprises me how many people don't know that there are 4 other courses. Not everyone needs to be a scratch golfer to play at Bethpage. The other 4 courses are set up for beginners, women, juniors, and high handicappers alike. After golf, visit our 4,000 square foot pro shop where every item down to golf balls are logoed with the Bethpage Black logo. Visit BethpageGolfCourse.com for more info or to shop online.
Welcome back. Okay, it's going to be a fun time now. So
All right.
everybody listen closely
I'm
because
ready.
Kelly and I are going to play a game called How Do I Hit That Shot? Okay, Kelly, here's the scenario. I'm at the golf course, and I hit my drive off the tee, and it lands in the high rough. I'm 120 yards away from the green. What are my options to get out of that rough?
I mean, you have several options. You could take out your 120-yard club and try to hit it at the green. I think that's the worst option, probably, because most likely for most women that's going to be, a 6 or a 5 iron or a hybrid. What I would do, quite frankly, and we do this quite often at Black, Bethpage Black, is I would take out a wedge or 9 iron, something high lofted that's short, put the ball back in my stance a teeny bit, put a little more weight on my front foot, and just try to get that ball back in the fairway. You never want to follow up a bad shot with a dumb shot.
Right.
Because most likely if you try to go to the green, you're going to still be in the rough, then you're going to be in the rough, then you're going to be in the rough, then you're going to be in the rough, and all of a sudden, that's triple bogey. So many golfers ask, say, I have those blow-up holes. I have 2 blow-up holes around. Well, that's why you're having them, because you're following up bad shots with dumb shots.
Yep. I like that a lot. You got to punch it out. And the biggest thing is you got to get yourself ready. I think we get scared, so we don't hold on to the handle tight enough. And you have to keep your hands a little bit more firm when you're in the rough. So, ladies, you got to turn your visor around, get yourself in your power position, and get to your ball and get it out of there. And getting it out, like Kelly said, is the priority there. Okay, number 2. What if your ball's on the hard ground? It's non-manicured grass, or there's no grass at all. It's just what we call hard pan, which means that there's dirt. There's a few little stones under there. It's a very uncomfortable lie to look at.
Yep.
Pretty ugly shot. So I'm going to start with this one. If you're just outside the green and you need to get it up on the green, I would suggest that you're going to take your club selection. We're going to keep a low shot. You're going to hit a low shot, but whether you choose your wedge or your 9-iron, but you're going to put it up on its toe. So which means that once you set up, you're going to push your hands out away from your body so that the club actually is tipping toward the toe of the club, and then go ahead and hit that chip shot. What do you suggest?
Yeah, you don't want to use a club that has a lot of bounce, like a sand wedge or a 60-degree, because it's just going to bounce off of that hard pan. So you definitely want to almost feel like you're punching it, like you said, with maybe a pitching wedge, even a 9-iron.
Yeah.
What people don't understand is you're going, if you hit the shot correctly, which is to have it back in your stance a bit, forward press your hands, weight on your lead foot, you're going to put backspin on that ball, because the ball's going to get trapped between the hard pan and the club. It's going to roll back up the club face, and you're going to put backspin on it. Yeah. You're not going to be able to hit a high flop shot.
No.
Yeah.
And it's intimidating for women because that's a hard shot, and it's a lot of wrist to hold it. And I got bad wrists, so when I see hard pan, I try to just sweep it out as opposed to dig it out. What do you think? Let me ask you about this. If you're not really too far from the green and no sand or anything that you have to go over, what about taking a hybrid with a pretty flat face and kind of doing a chip putt just to get it rolling and going?
We use those a lot down in North Carolina, for example, or country clubs up in Westchester, because they're manicured, but you have a hill in front of you, for example, or you just can't get that ball up in the air to stop it quick enough when it hits the green. So you take out your hybrid and treat it like a putter. I think that's a great option.
Because that hard pan can be very intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it can be because it's so ugly. I tell my students, save pretty for practice. When you're out on the golf course, you have to just hit whatever you need to do to get it closer to the hole. So you get that out of your head that every shot's going to be nice and high and pretty and perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I think that playable golf shots are what we're looking for. Mm-hmm. And playable, means pretty much keep it down the runway and keep it on the playing field and get it on the dance floor and get it in the hole. Okay, number 3. If I am in the tree line on the right side of the fairway, it looks like I have a clear shot, but I either notice or I need to notice that there's trees hanging and there's limbs hanging. So what would be my club selection?
Well, you have a couple options. You can again chip back out in the fairway and just take your your penalty,
your medicine.
Exactly, your medicine. Or you could take out a low lofted club like a 3-iron, hybrid, 5-iron. Most people don't even have 3 irons, 4 irons anymore. You put it back in your stance and you punch it under those limbs.
Yeah. I think one of the things when you're looking at the shot and seeing it, I think is part of the, take your medicine. It's like, what's the objective, and then what's the one that I could do the most? Yes, I would love to, at 120 yards out in the fescue, be able to get it on the green, but I'm not a strong hitter. So it's like, okay, if I just punch it out, take your medicine, the objective of that one is get it out of the fescue, get it on the fairway.
Yep.
So if you look at that as opposed to, I have to get it in the hole, no, just look at the next shot. What do you have to do for that next shot? And then you're not thinking 3 shots ahead. Just get it out. Sometimes, hey, I'm in the fairway, I'm going to go for distance, right? And sometimes I'll sit a shot and it's like, this is for accuracy, so don't try hard because it's a really narrow neck or something.
Yep.
So you got to look at what the objective of that shot is, and be able to do it. Because you're right, I liked your view of don't make a dumb shot.
Right, I like that too. So 3 best practices that we're going to end on today, real quick. First of all, you want to make sure that you move your tees and ball markers, if you're a right-handed golfer, into your left side pocket, speaking of pockets. Right? Because your glove is not responsible for finding anything. You can't feel anything in your pockets with your glove hand. Number 2, wear layers.
Yes.
Weather changes, over the course of 4 to 5 hours. So wear layers. You can put them on, you can take them off, and you can repeat. Last one is bring extra shoes for the 19th hole.
Yep.
I think always prepare your car, to have a pair of flip-flops or slides or another pair of sneakers for after your round. Include dry socks. No one wants to feel sweaty and yucky, and new feet equals some good relaxation there. Hey, we want to thank everybody for listening. We want to thank our sponsors. Thank you, Lorianne.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. So our sponsors with the Golf Institute, we've got Titleist, FootJoy. We want to thank Taylormade, our premier sponsor, which is Spinecare Technologies, who keeps us on the radio. Jay Lindenberg, we have FootJoy. Thank you, everybody. And coming up next is Little Sticks with Justin Kolf and Dan Frankel. And I'll be back with Kelly at 8:30 a.m. with Faults and Fixes. Make it a great day out on the links.
All right, guys.